250.
Good morning. On behalf of the United States Semi-Quincentennial Commission and America 250, welcome. I'm Jennifer Condon, and I serve as the Executive Vice President, the Chief Executive of America 250, the sole supporting nonprofit to the United States Semi-Quincentennial Commission. Thank you to our distinguished guests and partners here this morning. And let me acknowledge the Raptor Foundation for bringing Indy to this historic event. It's quite fitting to have him here in the city of brotherly love. Go Birds. Yeah. This is the city where my family first settled over 200 years ago. It's where my parents met and fell in love, and where 250 years ago, a bold idea was declared that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, and the future of this nation would forever be written by its people. Today, we gather not simply to commemorate our past, but to make a promise to our future. Today's ceremony is also part of a promise Congress made when it established the United States Semi-Quincentennial Commission over 10 years ago in 2016. Our enabling legislation directed that a representative collection of books, documents, memorabilia, and artifacts from America's 250th anniversary be placed in a time capsule here at Independence Mall to be buried on July 4th, 2026, and opened exactly 250 years from today on America's 500th birthday in 2276. There is something profoundly humbling about this task. Most of us spend our lives looking back to honor those who came before us, or looking ahead to tomorrow's challenges. But today asks something different of us. It asks us to imagine Americans we will never meet, children not yet born, families whose lives will unfold long after ours, citizens who 250 years from now will open this capsule and wonder who we were. What will they think of us? Will they see a generation worthy of the inheritance we received? Will they recognize people who understood that freedom is not guaranteed? It is renewed by every generation. My hope is that when we open this time capsule during America's 500th anniversary, they won't simply discover artifacts. They'll discover us. They'll discover a people who loved their country enough to continue improving it. A people who understood that patriotism isn't measured by perfection, but by the willingness to keep building a more perfect union. A people who chose service over cynicism, hope over division, and possibility over doubt. Inside this capsule are pieces of our time, but the most important thing we leave behind cannot be placed in a box. It is our example. It is how we treated one another. It is how we cared for our communities. It is how we answered the enduring question every generation of Americans must answer. What will we leave for those who come next? That question has been at the heart of America 250 from the very beginning. As we traveled across this nation, we've seen millions of Americans writing the next chapter of our story, not with words alone, but through acts of service, through volunteerism, innovation, creativity, and community. We've seen neighbors helping neighbors, veterans mentoring young people, students preserving local history, families gathering to celebrate what unites us, and communities discovering that our greatest strength has always been each other. Those stories remind us that history is not something that happened. History is something we make, and someday, someone will look back on this very moment as history. Perhaps a child standing where we stand today, 250 years from now, will carefully open this capsule and hold these objects in their hands. I hope they will feel something greater than curiosity. I hope they feel connected to a generation that believed America was worth investing in, connected to people who believe democracy is strengthened through participation, through service, and through shared responsibility, connected to millions of Americans who understood that while we inherit our nation's story, we also have the privilege and the responsibility to write the next chapter. Today, we bury more than a collection of objects. We bury our hopes, our gratitude, our aspirations, and our confidence that the American experiment will continue because each generation has chosen to carry it forward. With that, it is my honor to welcome the great mayor of this city of Philadelphia, Sherelle Parker.
Let me start by saying good morning, Philadelphia, and welcome, America. For nearly 250 years, Philadelphia has stood at the center of our nation's history. It was here that bold ideas about democracy were born. They took root, and where generations have come to reflect on the enduring promise of liberty. So as we celebrate America's 250th anniversary, it feels only right that our nation's official time capsule will be entrusted to our great city of Philadelphia. Now, I know that we're here for a burial, but unlike any other burial, this one is about hope. It's about possibility and about believing that the generations who come after us will build a stronger nation than the one we'll leave behind. A time capsule is more than a collection of artifacts. It's a message from one generation to the next about who we were, what we valued, and what we believed was worth preserving. So today, we place that message into the ground with faith. And I can't help but imagine what this moment will look like 250 years from now. On July 4th, 2276. Oh, it sounds so weird. Doesn't it sound weird? People will gather. People will never meet. And they'll get together and they'll lift this capsule from the ground and they'll open it for the very first time. And they will discover what we chose to leave behind. And it is my hope that they'll see a nation that never stopped striving to become more united, more just, and more committed to creating opportunity for everyone. And I hope they'll find an enduring example of all of the ideals that unite us, the same ideals that call us to be one Philly, a united city, and one America, a united nation. I all want you to know, especially those of you who are back there, that by the powers invested in me by the Home Rule Charter here in the city of Philadelphia, I hereby direct each of you to place one finger in the air right now. One finger. And I want you all to repeat after me, and generations in the future, they'll remember this moment. I want to hear you all say, one Philly, a united city, one America, a united nation. Thank you to everyone whose vision and dedication made today's ceremony possible, and may the memories that we make today truly, truly last a lifetime. Thank you.
National Historical. Please welcome Superintendent of Independence National Historical Park, Steve Sims.
Good morning, and welcome to Independence National Historical Park, and to this extraordinary moment in the life of our nation. I want to begin by recognizing our partners at America 250 for their leadership in bringing this national initiative to life, along with our colleagues at the Independence Historical Trust, our elected officials, federal and state partners, and the many scientists, engineers, educators, and preservation experts whose work has made today possible. And I want to extend a special welcome to the American people, because while this ceremony takes place here in Philadelphia, this time capsule belongs to every American and to generations of Americans yet to come. We gather today on sacred ground within Independence National Historical Park, where 250 years ago, bold ideas about liberty, self-government, and human dignity were first declared to the world. Today, we mark not only a celebration of that legacy, but a deliberate act of preservation, the sealing of a record of who we are as a nation at our 250th anniversary, entrusted to generations not yet born. The time capsule we bury today is more than an artifact. It is a message carried forward through time. It reflects a nation still striving, still debating, still building, still expanding the meaning of its founding ideals. It captures our voices, our achievements, our struggles, and our aspirations. It reflects the creativity, complexity, and character of the American people in 2026. Designed to endure for 250 years beneath this historic ground, it has been built so that when it is opened in 2276, it will still tell our story clearly, faithfully, and authentically. That is a profound act of trust. Trust in the ingenuity of those who built it. Trust in our institutions to preserve it. And ultimately trust that the American story is still being written and worth remembering in full. Moments like this remind us that the National Park Service's mission is not only to preserve places, but preserve meaning. We are stewards not only of the places where history happened, but of the stories, ideas, and shared heritage that continue to give those places meaning. Here at Independence National Historical Park, we hold in trust the birthplace of American democracy. Today, we add another layer to that legacy, not only by preserving the past, but by speaking to the future. Our responsibility is to leave behind a record that is honest, thoughtful, and worthy of those who will one day open it. The signers could never have imagined this moment, but they understood that every generation inherits both the blessings and the responsibilities of liberty. So today, we do something both simple and extraordinary. We place objects into a vessel. We place that vessel into the ground. And in doing so, we place our trust in America's future. 250 years ago, a generation of Americans changed the course of history. Today, we honor that achievement, not only with celebration, but with stewardship. And today, we renew that commitment to ensuring that government of the people, by the people, and for the people endures for the next 250 years. Thank you.
Please welcome Executive Director of Independence Historical Trust, Tom Caramanico.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Tom Caramanico, the Executive Director of Independence Historical Trust, the official nonprofit philanthropic partner to Independence National Historical Park. It's been a privilege for the Trust to work alongside our partners at the park and America 250 to help make today's time capsule burial a reality. Our role's been pretty straightforward, pretty simple, really. We coordinate the site work, prepared the foundation for the capsule, hired the local contractors, transported the time capsule to Philadelphia, arranged the event, secured the site, and ultimately lowered this capsule into the ground before restoring the site. I said our role was straightforward. I didn't say it was easy. As you can imagine, organizing this kind of an event, digging this hole in Independence Park, and doing this event on the 4th of July, takes a lot of coordination. And a lot of things could have gone wrong, but they didn't. I want to recognize the outstanding team that helped make this possible, including National Park Service staff, the contractor Sabia Construction, Mayfield Site Contractors, Think Green Landscape Architects, Bustamante Engineers, and Dan Bozine Associates, our project manager. We all worked with Tom Medema at America 250. Their expertise brought this vision to life, and we are grateful for their partnership. You may be wondering why this particular location was chosen for today's ceremony, for burying this time capsule right here. The answer lies in another exciting project that will soon become part of Independence Mall. The Independence Historical Trust is leading the creation of a monumental stone sculpture inspired by Benjamin Franklin's Join or Die cartoon. Published in 1754, Franklin's image of a segmented snake carried a powerful message that the colonies would be stronger together than apart. More than 250 years later, that message of unity remains just as meaningful today. The sculpture, designed by artist John Collins, will stretch 46 feet across this area where you're sitting. It's currently being carved from granite in Wisconsin by Quarrystone, and when installed, the head of the snake will rest right here, making this the perfect location to bury this time capsule. In fact, the stone foundation supporting the capsule below and the capstone that will sit atop the capsule marking its location are being created in Wisconsin at the same location where the snake is being carved. It's been an honor for the Independence Historical Trust to play a small part in preserving this monument for future generations. Long after we are gone, people will gather here to remember not only what we accomplished during America's 250th anniversary, but also the enduring ideals that people have talked about here this morning. Thank you all very much. It's been an honor to work with everybody to make this happen.
Please welcome Commissioner of America 250, Reginald Brown.
Good morning. You can't say I talk low. I am Reggie Brown. I'd like to bring greetings to Congressman Aderholt. Thanks for coming from Alabama, Mrs. Aderholt. Mayor Parker, good to see you. And all my fellow commissioners. And in the absence of our chairperson, Rosie Rios, she is in the air going to California for America's Block Party. She should land about an hour. I am a commissioner of America 250, and it's a privilege to have served on this commission. And I stand before you, I see a lot of friends, a lot of neighbors here. I stand before you as a son of Philadelphia. My family has lived in this city for 120 years. Philadelphia is the influence of the birth of this nation. It's only fitting that this time capsule will be buried here. When I was thinking about the approach of my remarks, I was thinking about 5 things Philadelphia is known for. We are the birthplace for independence. We are the birthplace of the first stock exchange. It's right down the street here. We're the birthplace of the first banking. We are the center of early free black community. And we are the first museum and art school. I'm on that board, I gotta say it. Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts. We are the first museum and art school in this nation. So this place, this monument, is especially meaningful to me. You probably can see that. We're here today to bury this time capsule. This is a gift to the future, to capture who we are, our dreams, our challenges, and our shared humanity. The time capsule reminds us that we are both custodians of the past and stewards of the future. By preserving the stories, the artifacts, the voices today, we create a bridge between the present and those who will come after us. In this sense, today's ceremony is an act of optimism. It's a message from one generation to Americans 250 years from now that we have faith in our nation will endure. But this is also a gift to all of us. But this gift isn't just for Americans who will open it 250 years from now, but it's also a gift for our children and our children's children and their children. This is an opportunity to reflect who we are, who we want to be. This is a once-in-a-generation chance to remind young people why it's important to come together and celebrate the best of us. In giving remarks around the country, one of the things I focused on is today's 8-year-old. Think about it. Where were you in 1976? Those of you of certain age. And what do you remember? To me, I remember Evel Knievel. I remember Farrah Fawcett. I remember Rocky going up the steps and red and white shorts, the symbolism. We are creating America memory today. That 8-year-old will be 58 when America turns 300, the tricentennial. This is the work we're doing. It's for the children. I hope they will remember this anniversary and how they made them feel. It's up to all of us. I hope they remember that the America 250 logo, that logo there, is a unifying symbol of who we are and what we believe. We have so many parts of our country that are great. And is that greatness, that fabric, is who we are. So I have a call to action. My call to action for every parent, every grandparent, every uncle, every aunt is here. Steward our children for the future. Teach them our story. Bring them places like Philadelphia Independence Hall. Teach them about moments that matter. This is one of the moments that matter. The greatest gift we can leave our children and future generations isn't inside the capsule. This is just a part of it. It's the love of country. It's the love of confidence. It's the pursuit of excellence. It's the American dream. This is what we leave them today and the foundation of who we become tomorrow. In this remarks, I say, happy birthday, America, and thank you very much.
Please welcome Commissioner of America 250, Kathy Gillespie.
Good morning, everyone, and happy semi-quincentennial. It is a privilege to join you today, and I want to thank our distinguished guests, our partners, and everyone who helped make this remarkable day possible. My name is Kathy Gillespie, and I'm honored to serve as a commissioner for America 250. And today, we're gathered in one of the most meaningful places in our nation's history. This is where the ideas and principles of American independence and where our founders later forged the Constitution that has sustained our republic for nearly 250 years. Now, there's a popular story from these very grounds that will be familiar to many of you. It was here that Benjamin Franklin, leaving the Constitutional Convention, was asked what kind of government had been created. His famous reply was, "A republic, if you can keep it." Dr. Franklin understood that America's future would depend on informed and engaged citizens. And today's ceremony is, in many ways, our answer to that challenge. We've kept our republic. And by bearing this time capsule today, we are expressing our confidence that our republic will endure. My hope is that when Americans gather here 250 years from now, they will see not only the objects we left behind, but the principles that we chose to preserve, and know that in 2026, we believe deeply enough in this remarkable American experiment to entrust it to them. Now, in preparing for today, I had the chance to read some of the messages that young people wrote to include in America's time capsule. And this comes from a young student named Sudden Joy, who wrote, 500 years of America. I can't believe we made it this far. Some advice: never take it for granted. I don't know what the world looks like for you now, but I do know that we're blessed to have been here. It really is such a special thing. Now, what a remarkable message from Sudden, not only to future Americans, but to all of us gathered here today. I love her line, never take it for granted. Never take it for granted the freedoms secured by those who came before us in the Declaration of Independence. Never take for granted our U.S. Constitution that protects those freedoms, preserving our republic. And never take for granted, as Commissioner Brown so eloquently stated, our responsibility to prepare those who come after us to keep it. Thank you.
Please welcome Congressman Robert Aderholt of Alabama's 4th District.
Well, good morning, Mayor, fellow commissioners, fellow Americans, distinguished guests. We are all gathered here today this morning to celebrate America's semi-quincentennial, the 250th birthday of the United States of America. My wife, Caroline, and I are honored to be with you today and to come up from Washington to celebrate this very special occasion. Across our nation, there will be fireworks. There will be celebrations and parades that will commemorate this remarkable time. However, this ceremony that we're experiencing this morning is different. Today, we're not simply celebrating the past. We are speaking to the future. When this time capsule, here to my left, is open 250 years from now, of course, none of us living will be here present. But in a real sense, our voices will be. The Americans of 2276, and yes, Mayor, that does sound very, very strange, of 2276 will learn something about us. Not simply about the items that we placed inside the capsule, but for the values that those items represent. And that raises an important question. What are we leaving behind? As a member of the America 250 Commission, I had the privilege of helping plan this historic commemoration over the last several weeks and months and years. And I believe that this time capsule that we are dedicating today may be the most meaningful because it asks us to think beyond ourselves. What kind of nation do we hope future generations will inherit? I hope they will see a generation that understood America was never meant to be perfect. The only perfect person who ever walked on this earth was Jesus Christ. But as our Constitution reminds us, every generation has that opportunity as we strive to become a more perfect union. I hope they will see a people who believe that our freedoms are gifts that are worth protecting. A people who understood that America's greatest strength has never been found in government, but it's been found in families and churches and communities and citizens willing to serve others and to work together to build a better future for everyone. The technology of 2276 may be far beyond anything that we can imagine. They may be traveling in ways that we can't conceive or living in places that we've not yet dreamed of. But I hope that they recognize something timeless. I hope they recognize a generation that never lost faith in the American experience. Because the greatest gift we can leave the future Americans is not what we place inside this capsule here, but rather it's the country that we leave behind. So may God continue to bless the United States of America for another 250 years and far, far beyond. God bless.
Please welcome back Jennifer Condon.
The moment we've all been waiting for, we will now lower the time capsule into its home for the next 250 years. Before we conclude, I'd like to encourage everyone to continue today's celebration with Mayor Parker and the City of Philadelphia immediately following the ceremony. I also want to thank our partners who made today possible. To my dear friend and colleague, Tom Medema, and all the America 250 team for all of your diligence in making today a reality. To our chair, Rosie Rios, Mayor Parker, to Michael Numis, Congressman Boyle, Congressman Adderholt, Commissioner Gillespie, Commissioner Brown, and the PA 250 Commission. Thank you for your leadership and commitment to ensuring we reach 350 million Americans for the 250th. A special thank you to Steve Sims, Superintendent at Independence National Historical Park, and Tom Caramanico, Board Chair of Independence Historical Trust, for your partnership and support of America's Time Capsule. To our partners at NIST, especially Michael Berea and engineers Jay Naninga and Jacob Rickard, and as well as the Library of Congress, Dr. Fenella France, Dr. Andrew Davis, and Acting Chief Kevin Butterfield, who's with us today. And finally, to those who will one day open this capsule, we may never meet you, but we believe in you. Just as those who signed the Declaration believed in a future they could scarcely imagine, we believe you will continue the work they began, and that we are privileged to carry forward today. May you know that in 2026, on America's 250th birthday, we celebrated not only where we had been, but where we hoped you would go. Happy Independence Day, happy semi-quincentennial, and may God continue to bless the United States of America.